Greetings. Thank you for joining us tonight's broadcast brought to you by Fifth Dimension. Alright, so looks like we're up. Okay, this is going to be Machine Elves, LS. I wasn't really going to put LSD and all that at the title. I was like, what the hell? So I had a request for Machine Elves, and then I started looking at LSD and stuff, not realizing there's a connection there. And sure enough, there is one. So, was it Terrence McKinnon or something like that? So, I'm not sure if I'm going to channel him, but we'll see. It's been a long day. Probably not. But we'll connect to Machine Elves and see what we get, what version of that we get. Let's put it that way. Yeah, the whole thing with Baghdad, I wouldn't put too much worry into that. If people want World War III, it's all for them. Have fun with that. Yeah, there's I guess there's a YouTube channel called Higher Self. I've warned not to post anything anymore on here because apparently, was it Friday I did a video. I was already worn out as it was, and one of the websites had a video rolling and it went into my stream. It's like, that's nice. So I had to do the video again, which I was already worn out as it is. So, not going to do that again. So you never know. I'm jumping around. But either way, oh yeah, that's right. There's a site called Higher Self. There's a YouTube channel called Higher Self. Anything with Higher Self on it, or high vibration. Well, from what I know, like high vibration is as two-faced as you can get. So, higher self is not much different than that. Obviously, it's a soul learning they gotta go through. But you know, it's in 10 years. It was higher self. So it's thinking about 10 years. You need to do this. You need to do that. Worry about the reptilians destroying the world and all that nonsense. That shows a manipulation. So yeah, anything that says in 10 years you need to do this or you need to do anything, that shows there's manipulation going on. Just do what you gotta do. More freedom of the soul, the better. They say if you don't do this in 5 years or 10 years, the world's gonna blow up or something's gonna happen. That shows there's manipulation going on. And of course, manipulated beings are always gonna put high vibration in their title. Hey, I'm positive, everybody, and they're really not. So there's a lot of two-facedness. They did that in the the Golden Globes about how two-faced Hollywood is. That's so true. And you can say that to the spirit community too. And you can look at modern-day churches. Same situation there. So yeah, we live in a two-faced society. Gotta love it. So yeah, I try not to go into too much detail of what I know. But yeah, it's not to say I'm all that loved by other channelers, far from it. And I don't have much love for them either, so the feeling's mutual. So we're not exactly a love for each other at all. I want to get near them, they won't get near me. It's fine by me. So I'm not selling high vibrational cards or any of that nonsense. So anyway, I do have an announcement, but I'm not going to put it out yet. Not yet. It has to do with channeling. It's not a big deal, but it should be helpful. It's going to come in some of these channeled messages here, which I've done in the past. You'll know when I do when I bring it up. You kind of just work with what you want. I want to do more creative stuff, but that door is not opening that fast or at all. But I'm still leaving the door open. I'm working with what I got. Let's put it that way. So, just kind of a little bit of a hint there. Okay, if those are new to all this, I'm talking.com. I have 5 sessions throughout the week. You have the scheduler here. We're not a channel. Google Hands and Zoom and channeling by phone for recording. Around 12 to 15 days for delivery. We just leave it at that. Same situation here. There are channels and healers I do recommend. Social network. And the latest rabbit is out. If you want to see, Yeah, it sends. It's working on a space rocket. Sends a building into space, and his girl's all pissed off that she missed Thanksgiving because now they're in space. So anyway, all right. Thank you for support. Mayhem is those are fun at least. So where are we going with all this? Let's see. Machine Elves, and yeah, so some of these channels, I know some people are going through an awakening. Some of these people that used to be conspiracy theorists, used to be in jail, and now they're found God or something like that. But you still see that they're screwed up. It's like they're kind of, they put a mask on, or 4 or 5 masks on, so you don't want to see who they truly are. They're just scumbags, basically. So I don't think some of them are here to help people, as they say they are. But either way, not here to judge. As well, and they have a huge following, and some are just complete scumbags. But like I say, not here to judge. But it's pretty gross. So I've seen the two-facedness enough. It gets old, but not much you can do about it. So all right, we'll do the Machine Elf connections and see what else comes through. And see where we go with all of this. Let's see. Well, I mean, you can look at the drug trips that everyone wants, however you want to look at it, but some people just need to experience it for various reasons. They're not always doing that just to find that. They're maybe they're higher self. I mean, I want to say it's part of it is disclosure. Yeah, people do drug trips. It is another form of disclosure. It's in some ways, I mean, I wouldn't do it, but others might, if that's their thing, that's their thing. Some people just like experimenting that way. It's just the way they're developed and designed. And some people are going to judge that, which judging needs to be healed, but either way. But it is it's a spiritual form of disclosure. So it does have purpose. Everything has purpose. Okay, maybe high vibration doesn't have a purpose, but either way. I guess that has purpose too in some messed up way, but either way. But yeah, all these drug trips, I mean, they're all on YouTube if you want to find it. You put aliens, drug trip, you're going to be surprised what you find. If it's a friend, if they're talking to a being and they say in the next 10 years this is going to happen, it's not going to be good, you might, that's if you want to be on that train, that's fine. But I say just let it be. That's a manipulation, basically. Any of these beings saying this is going to happen, nobody knows how it's going to happen. Just flow with it. I mean, yeah, we're going into a higher state of mind, yes. But if you want to kind of tell the drama and all the negative stuff, spaceship's going to do this, and all these aliens are going to do this, more power to you. Nobody's stopping you. It's like, yeah, don't you feel better just being yourself, discovering yourself, what your energy is, and not worrying about what the aliens are doing? I mean, you might connect to your connection with them, that's fine. But caring about them flying around and doing who knows what, who cares? Because that was another thing. I mean, a lot of these aliens are being channeled. A lot of them come from the 4th dimension. And just like our world, we have a lot of people put on a nice presentation. And a lot of them are full of shit. Well, these aliens are the same way. Some of these aliens look like they're the best thing since sliced bread that are getting channeled. And you kind of have to wonder, either, first off, some aliens are just not giving you the full story for obvious reasons. People aren't ready for it or whatever. That's one thing. But some of them are If it looks shady, it probably is in some shape or form. So, I mean, there's like, going to the colonies and all that nonsense. It's like, have fun with that. Have fun with the colonies. Why don't you just figure yourself out first? If you see the colonies, you might want to be aware of that. Some people have been in colonies and seen other things that they're not talking about. But there is definitely manipulation there. Obviously, that's not very popular among many. So, it's part of soul growth. A lot of these alien beings you can't trust, and they're going to start. I mean, how are we going to have ships landing here? Are we going to talk to them and all that? We can't even talk to each other. If we're going to talk to aliens, good luck with that. I mean, when society starts talking to each other easily about anything, like you can go up to anybody and talk about aliens without a damn problem. I mean, with good intentions. Then, obviously don't go up to just anybody and talk about racism. But, it's like, when these topics are, I mean, of course, like politics, you don't go to somebody just talking about politics out of nowhere. But, it's like when the alien subject matter comes up, you don't get ridiculed and shut down, showing society isn't ready. So when it becomes more part of, more people are open-minded to it, which takes a while. When the conversation becomes normal, then they'll start appearing. It's not normal right now. They laugh at the whole thing at Area 51, the whole thing there. They're laughing about it. Not everybody, but a majority is laughing to a degree. They don't understand it. They think their high jet set life here is great. Yeah. This is lucky us. Not to say the alien life is much better, because some of them are full of shit too. So you have that. So you have, it's like, who's full of shit? I mean, okay, humanity's full of shit, aliens are full of shit. You just gotta figure out who you want to be around. It's like, whose shit you want to be around? It's like, who can you withstand? Some of us maybe it's good that we're here, even if you can't stand it here, because you've seen all the aliens and all kind of crap they pull, at least in the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is just as messed up as this place. It's different, but it's still messed up. Fifth dimension's a little bit easier, but still has their own problems. Everybody has their own problems. 12th dimension has their problems because they don't think their shit smells. So they have to come here to smell it. So, because the higher dimension they get, the more arrogant they become, depending on the being. So that's why a world like this is necessary to kick their ass. So it all has a purpose. Those are a lot of wealth. A lot of people don't even know themselves. And those with no wealth are finally getting closer if they want to. Even poverty is another form of wealth. It might be poverty, but it still has that kind of ecosystem of arrogance. Some of it does. So there's this, it's weird. It's like, it's just, you have this different elite classes. You have poverty level, some of it's elite, it's not all. Some of it is. Middle class has that too. Upper class has it too. But at least the lower class, at least some of them, at least those that are, from what I feel, I mean, overall, those that are homeless know more about themselves than anybody. They have their survival skills up. They have their instincts on. And they probably have great personalities of, getting along with people. I mean, I think they're more in touch with some of them, not all of them, but quite a few are more in touch with themselves than anybody else. The rest of us are just a bunch of slaves, unfortunately. Yeah. Life in the high life. Life of the 1%, or whatever you want to call it. So the workforce life. So it all depends on your type of. Yeah, because those in the homeless group, some are just more connected to Mother Earth than the angels. Of course, a lot of them talk to themselves too, but they're connected to other beings. So I just saw a person like that recently. So All right, sending energies to those that are having a uneasy new year. It hasn't not been the easiest for me either, so it just isn't. So hopefully it gets better. Those are out there. Just things will improve somehow. I don't know how, but they'll figure it out. All right. So do the machine elf connection, and yeah, I'm probably gonna end this whole drug thing eventually. Yeah, I think I've run its course. I will jump back into it here and there if I feel like there's something going on there. I have to admit, it's something different, that's for sure. All right, here we go. Blessings. We are subtle beings. Some of us are formable. We change lives. We don't have the human reality. Some of us are puppet masters. We are around you. We're around technologies, but also around you, especially during your drug trips. As you awaken to our energies, we're there to greet you. Some of us are just playful. Some of us are direct, heavy. Your foundation here in the physical realm is fascinating to many of us because we still don't understand the whole idea of physicality. It's just, for many of us, it doesn't truly interest us. Why would you want to be physical? Well, you can be non-physical and you can fly around and do things as whatever you want. But for you to go, not to say that we feel that you are a lower being, but some beings feel that way that you are. Only because they have not figured themselves out. And it is a type of elitism. Some of your alien beings are elitists. Only because they feel like you're doing what they would never do. And they're fine with, yes, not growing. But growth is key for universal and life survival. If you're going through hardships now, you are doing, yes, you can say the Lord's work, God's work. You're learning more about yourself, and others are going to learn from it. Many of you are becoming teachers. Yes, everybody's a teacher, but some of you are becoming teachers of a large audience. And you have come to a place of being humble also, where many are not. Being humble is one of the hardest lessons of this earth. To feel that you're not better than others. And those that feel like they are better than others is a form of insecurity. It's like a shield. They put themselves up, look at me, I'm this person. And you're little people, but in truth they are far from it. There's insecurities are building this mirage. And those of the wealthy know, not all, but some realize there's holes in their exterior. They can make it look fancy, but they know they have problems. And some of the wealthy have the most problems ever. And some of us don't even want to hear it anymore. We learn sort of from them, but not necessarily. Because wealth is a way, it has a positive to it, of course. But some that have a lot of drama around them are focused on everyone but themselves. That's why you have your reality TV. Focus on everyone but themselves. Everyone's this person, that, and the Kardashians are a good example of that. But sometimes, even there, people are healing, learning, sort of. It's like problems are entertainment. If it's entertaining to you, you're probably not learning or healing. Now, sometimes you need to laugh about it. Because if you find problems entertainment, that means you find those problems in yourself. You're not real ready to See it. Heal it. Healing it's not easy. Never is. It's like even the mountains on your planet are problems of the soul. Imagine the earth was all flat land. Easy to roam around. Mountain energies, not to say mountains on your world physical are problems, but the soul has that within itself. A rough terrain, hard to get to, hard to talk to, hard to get to its peak. Many have that within themselves. Like you're talking to somebody, it's like climbing out Mount Everest. Every time I feel like I'm getting somewhere with this person, I fall down. It's like they just push me down because they don't want you to reach who they are. You're getting close to it. They don't want you there. It's like, hey, we're friends. I'm getting closer to who you are. It's like, whoa, nope, not gonna happen. You're gonna fall down. Get away from me. Don't just get out of here. So, just giving you a glimpse of the soul. Earth is why you have oceans here is consciousness. Yes. It's dirty, but not all of it. Much of it's muddy for a reason. There's a lot to learn from all of that. It is astral energies too. When you dive into water, you feel like you're floating and just you can do anything. That's the astral realm in physical form. It's like going into the ocean, you feel like you're going to be transported somewhere else. And some of you are called dragged out into the sea. Not always cracked up as you like it to, but some need that for various reasons. And the oceans aren't always safe either. It shows again, astral is not so safe, as many of you are remembering. So realize your earth is, as you go into awakening yourselves, as many of you, yes, you don't need drugs to awaken. Some of you do, but opening yourself is like drugs. You see things. You see your oceans transmute, transform. So your earth transform. That's what you're working on. There's no such thing as an end game. Your world likes to end game it. There's never an end to anything. Really? There's cycles. Nothing ever ends. You're going to, yes, change the physics of your world. You'll go into the oceans and find yourself somewhere else. But you know where you're going. It's transport. You go into a lake, you go somewhere else. You just know more about the reality around you. You can you be in your home and transport from that place to somewhere else. And then transport back. Easily. That is what you're learning here. That you are a transporter being. That's not really the best word, but I think you understand. And this reality is going to... So basically, yes, you are becoming the alien being. Realizing that is difficult. Because you shift out of your physical matter. And realize other talents. Some are looking for intuitive abilities. All of you have various different talents. No one's ever going to be truly the same. Some are intuitively powerful, psychically powerful. Some of you are just great communicators with alien beings. Some of you know how to time travel better than others. So just you all have various different abilities. There's no reason to be jealous of anything. They all have their perks. It's just that when you're in a world like this, feeling powerless, but realize many of you know there's a great deal going on in the universe, and you're hearing as a third dimensional being, because they're absorbing the third dimensional energies to eventually unlock it. You're just getting to know the place still. You're absorbing the Earth's energy field. And one day, you know you can unlock it. You know the ability of doing it. Some of you know. But you're here to find that waiting for the right time. And then you feel free. Is it a prison? It is a warning world. It is a problem child. A world that was much needed. Yes, for much of their arrogant elites. Higher dimensional beings, some of them can't stand this world. Because it's doing something they would never do. Go to your, we call it your lowest level, but you don't have to look at it that way. But you're testing yourself to extremism. Extreme, hardships. Which a lot of the higher dimensional beings do not understand anymore. So bringing them here is very hard. They think they can think their way out of this place. Think again. Well, that's why a lot of them end up in mental hospitals. A lot of our higher dimensional beings are in mental hospitals. They came here too fast. They did not take their time. Incarnate slow. Take it easy. Don't have too much stress. Some add too much stress to themselves and they lose it instantly. What has been mastered is how to ease into this world without losing your mind. Of course, some turn up the volume and say, I can handle it. Then they get here and then all hell breaks loose. Then you have a hurricane or earthquake. Because some of them really can't handle it here. So what has been understood, of course, they can't, beings that assist you incarnate, they can't interfere with your free will. They can say, you sure you want to do this? And say, yeah, I'll be fine. And you incarnate and you say, whoa, what was I thinking? And sometimes there's not some going back on it. Because it's like you get calibrated for the earth. It's kind of hard to, aliens do what they can. But once you're here, you're here. It's good to have your matters figured out before you incarnate. Now, some of you do incarnate here for incarnations that nobody wants. But those are kind of like the golden beings, you can say. Beings that are, yes, have a troubled incarnation, but here to do a lot of good. But you don't always see it, which makes it hard. Some of you know who you are. You're here to do God. And everyone's here to do God's work. If some of you are truly doing, it's like, yes, you're doing the work of basically living the life of poverty in some regard. Some of you are doing like, what do you call it? The Mexican incarnation, we'll call it that. Because many Mexicans get treated very poorly on your planet. And many of you incarnate into that type of environment. Of being just, you're doing hardships, but there is a reason for it, but it's hell. Some of you aren't Mexican, but you know what we're talking about. It's like a lot of immigrants are treated very poorly for jobs, whatever. It's just even in your own country you're treated poorly, and you go into another country, it feels like a little bit better, but still there you get treated terrible. It's like, what's the deal here? I feel like I'm not even wanted on this planet. Some of you are going through that right now. But you're alien beings. Some of you are troublemakers, but for the highest good of humanity. Some of you, yes, have been criminals in other incarnations, but when you turn that around for bring a positive to Earth, to Evers, you know how to flip switches and cause mayhem, but in a more positive way. And some like get a negative vibe from you, because you probably drove them insane at one time. You probably put them in jail or something. If someone just absolutely cannot stand you probably did something that rattled their chain really hard. So not to worry. As some of you know, that you have good intentions, those good intentions will continue on. And for those of you that you know that there's suspicion energies out there, like those that are, we'll just say like religions, pastors, whatever, that feel like they are on a level, and you say there's something there that's not right. If you need to know, you'll know. You'll get confirmation that in the spiritual community, any communities and you might not be looking for it, but if you find out, there's a reason why you know. Sometimes you need to know certain things about people that say what they are on the public arena, but are something else. There's a reason why you know that. So that was a little bit cryptic, but I believe some of you understand. Basically, there's someone shady, and you're all kind of questioning it, and you kind of know, you kind of have inside baseball on it. There's a reason for that. So, some of you are there to keep an eye on them. So, transition here is a big environment. Yes, many of you are here to change. Some of you, yes, are living hardships. We're also speeding up the process for your ascension. What your ascension is, it's however you define it. What matters most is, yes, you get through it, but also you bring happiness into your life in some shape or form. Surviving this, or see if the pressure gets on, it shows you're making progress. If life is really hitting you hard, progress is being made on this earth and the higher dimensions of this earth, of what you call reality, as you probably know, is shifting out. The third dimensional idea systems, if it's slow, it's still happening, and it's hard. Think about those that are living the normal life, how the higher dimensional knowledge will hit them. You're kind of preparing them for what's to come. Not to say they'll get hit by it, but when they start to have realization that this is all, they give a more understanding that alien life and spirit life is really, truly here. Some of them, denial is doing their health a favor at this time. But when they start to see it, like if you see alien beings and you're not on any drugs, that's just going to scare the hell out of people. At least if they're on something, they see something strange, they know it's going to end. But if you're seeing an alien being and it's not going away, that's a little bit more terrifying, isn't it? Especially if you're not understanding what the hell you're looking at. So you're going through a whole new realization of yourselves. Once again, we're not bringing anything here that your humanity can't handle alien-wise yet. Channeling-wise is just a drop in the hat for what's to come. But nothing to worry. Just live your lives as you feel. Blessings to you. All right. Blessings.